Hey everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we have a reaction video. This is going to be why American trucks are so big. Let's jump in. Let's have a look at this one.
This was the best-selling vehicle in America for the last 40 years.
Oh,
now,
wow.
Take a look at what it used to look like. As trucks become less workhorse and more show pony, they've grown to massive proportions, in the US at least. Today, the smallest truck in the market.
What is the new hot truck in town? Maverick is its name.
But if you were kicking tires back in 1995, you could easily mistake the Maverick for the F-150. Over the years, we've fully moved the goalposts on what constitutes as a small truck. The truth is,
holy 20 feet long? I've seen a few of those 150s. I think I've actually seen a 350 in Australia. We don't get very many because I don't think our streets are just as big as America, even though we got plenty of room. But yeah, they're massive trucks. Holy moly. We call them utes in Australia, short for utility. Yeah, but they're huge. Absolutely huge.
You can't buy a new small truck in America anymore. So consumers are turning to something less traditional, and dare I say, much cuter? But what's filling this gap and disrupting the market is a far shore from America. And along with it, entirely new businesses are taking shape to serve this new economy. So to get to the bottom of why you can't find small trucks in America anymore and how exactly companies are filling this hole in the market, I had to first check my own sanity that, yes, American trucks are in fact getting bigger, huff some deeply exciting US emission standards, find the most adorable non-living thing you'll see today, explore some actually interesting new startups, and head to the grocery store real quick. I need to pick something up, don't yell at me. To track the evolution of truck sizes in America, we're gonna have to go back to 1990. Maybe 1980. Nope. You know what? 1990. That was the turning point for trucks in the US. After 1990, they got bigger and longer, increasing in weight by 1,300 pounds and averaging 18 feet or more in length. In 1990, roughly 2 feet shorter. Sicko. In the 1980s, see why I almost started there? Small or mid-sized pickups comprised about half the US market. By the 2010s, these smaller models had all but disappeared, with consumers favoring larger trucks. So what happened? Why did automakers start pumping trucks full of testosterone and creatine? The answer obviously starts with chickens. Chickens and a few other things, but let's start with the chickens. So here's the deal. Back in the 1960s, America had so many chickens. So we exported them to Europe, flooding their markets with cheap chicken. Everybody loves cheap chicken, except European regulators. This global trade lowered prices, but it also started hurting the local European farmers. So in response, West Germany and France imposed tariffs on American poultry. And America retaliated. Hard. Like so hard, honestly.
Where we could put something on that would really compete with Volkswagen. I'd say, now damn you, we've already doing this to take care of you people, now please behave on us.
President Lyndon B. Johnson, LBJ, fired back with the chicken tax in 1964. He was all like, oui, you hate our cheap poulet? Tariffs on European potato starch, tariffs on dextrin, tariffs on brandy. And most importantly to this story, 25% tariffs on light trucks. Not to downplay the French here, they were hit hard enough by the brandy tariff part of this whole thing, but the light truck call-out was really aimed at Germany, specifically Volkswagen. Like other European manufacturers, VW held a pretty tight grip on the small truck market. And how could they not? Look at these things. What are they, a Studio Ghibli movie come to life? Bite your arm off for one of these. Take my money! So now, with the 25% tariff, any American wanting to import one of those German blue-collar hippie dreammobiles would need to pay 25% more than usual. So, as adorable as they are, perhaps those European small trucks weren't worth that extra cost anymore. This virtually eliminated foreign truck competition on US soil and cemented domestic truck dominance. With 25% tariffs, Europe suddenly found itself priced out of the market. Over the years, all those other tariffs were lifted. Could you imagine a world without dextrin? It's not a world I want to live in. But the small truck tax remained, and foreign competition never resumed. Now, You would think, Matt, wide open market segment here, where's the shovel? I'll fill it, right? Wrong. Other countries continue to develop smaller fuel-efficient pickups. Look at this thing. We can't have that. And this one, aliens get to ride this before we do? Back in the US, without competition, American manufacturers like Ford, GM, and Chrysler phased out their smaller truck models altogether and focused entirely on bigger money, bigger margins, bigger trucks. Literally. The only passenger car Ford makes anymore is the Mustang. So excessive chicken exports. That's reason number one why you can't find a new American-made small truck anymore. The second reason comes from the Obama administration, and it is a real head-scratcher. Back in 2012, President Obama passed new DOT and EPA standards requiring cars and light-duty trucks, which include SUVs, minivans, etc., to increase average fuel economy of the whole fleet to 54.5 miles per gallon by 2025. Well, that didn't happen. Come with me, I need to get some lunch. So what did happen? A loophole. One you could drive a truck through. Thank you. Have a good one. All right, lean in and listen closely. This gets complicated, but I got faith in you. You can do this. In 1975, the US government established fuel economy regulations for the first time. But instead of mandating that all cars and trucks reach a certain miles per gallon, they separated passenger cars from trucks. New passenger cars needed to reach 27.5 miles per gallon in 10 years. Light trucks, however, which only accounted for 1/5 of vehicle sales at the time, had to reach just under 20 miles per gallon within that time, depending on the exact type of truck. At the time, carving out this leeway for trucks made sense. Trucks were for business. Back then, the only people driving trucks were carpenters, construction workers, or farmers. You know, business use cases. And the government thought to itself, let's not penalize the backbone of blue-collar work. By the mid-1980s, car companies had had enough. They successfully lobbied the Reagan administration to lower the required miles per gallon for passenger cars to 26 miles per gallon and held the light truck requirement at 20.5 miles per gallon. The chairman of Chrysler, Lee Iacocca, declared, "We're about to put up a tombstone. Here lies America's energy policy." Not a ton happened between then and the Obama administration, which threw fuel economy standards into high gear by establishing that fleet-wide average requirement of 54.5 miles per gallon for light trucks and passenger cars. So, for the first time, light trucks, which had been increasing in popularity since the 1970s, were getting the same treatment as passenger cars. Up. You see it? The loophole. Here it is. Medium to heavy-duty vehicles were exempt from this specific miles per gallon. Instead, their standards were footprint-based, aka, depending on the size of your vehicle, do whatever you can to lower tailpipe emissions by a certain percentage within a certain time frame. So
I guess that's a good way to get out of it. You know, you make them bigger and they'd be exempt. Okay.
Bigger the truck, the fewer emissions regulations. So the Obama administration inadvertently incentivized the creation of bigger trucks. What? Oh, lean out. We're done with all the harder stuff now. Brain work makes my belly work. Here in 2025, Americans are fully hooked on big old pickup trucks. Or are they? If we really break it down, are these behemoths something consumers ever really wanted? Or is it just what companies were incentivized to make? Many people admit they don't actually need massive trucks for the work they do. In fact, about 2/3 occasionally or never use their truck for hauling, while over 1/3 occasionally or never use it for towing. This guy's hauling nothing. Can you get a juxtaposition of these two? Look at these two things. But consumers who want some towing and hauling capabilities without the F-150 price tag found a solution. But the solution to manufacturers producing bigger and bigger trucks? Enter this bad boy.
Wow. What the?
It's tiny, it's adorable, but don't let looks fool you. They can haul everything you expect from a pickup truck. These are K-trucks, or light trucks, and they come courtesy of Japan. They're about half the size of an American truck, significantly smaller than even the smallest American truck, following strict regulations and engine size requirements to meet Japan's light automobile regulations. In 2023, the US imported over 7,500 K-trucks, a substantial rise from just 797 a decade earlier. K-trucks can be imported thanks to the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards regulations, which allow the import of any vehicles 25 years or older to be driven on American streets. If you're looking to buy one, you'll spend between $8,000 to $12,000 compared to $27,000 for the cheapest, smallest truck in America. And yes, that includes the car, the import tax, the insurance, the chicken tax, everything. And at a price point like that, it's no surprise that since 2020, K-truck imports have grown 300%, despite only being street legal in 19 states. To put it into perspective of just how much this market is growing, 1 in 4 vehicles exported from Japan today is a K-truck. And over on eBay, the volume of K-truck parts sold during the first 6 months of 2024 was nearly 10 times the number of the same period in 2022. So why K-trucks, right? Great question. And really, look at us, on the same page here, thinking so similarly. It's really commendable. I'm proud of us. We've already noted that many consumers don't actually need or want large trucks. But another, let's say, obvious reason is fuel efficiency. 12 miles per gallon just can't compete with upwards of 50 miles per gallon. But hold your pen there, Dickens, this isn't the whole story. K-trucks are small business friendly. Think back to why people use trucks in the first place. For work. Talking about your local pool cleaners, plumbers, contractors, anyone who needs to haul tools around town, doesn't need to dust up the highway, and maybe doesn't have $80,000 to $100,000 lying around to invest in a new American-made truck. As more folks are finding themselves in need of smaller options, 2 market responses are happening. The first is import direct companies, helping you order and ship K-trucks directly from Japan. Shops like Japan Car Direct or husband and wife teams like Sergey and Ruslana Kostyuk. In an interview with Asahi Shimbun, Sergey said, "Our business has experienced steady growth year after year, and that most folks buying K-trucks are small business owners, including pool service providers, tree trimmers, and construction companies. They find lightweight trucks practical because they can be driven on a yard and lawn without causing damage." The other disruptors are startups, like Tello Trucks, offering micro-sized electric American trucks for half the cost of their larger countrymen. For perspective, Tello Trucks are about the size of a Mini Cooper. The company has already received about 3,700 pre-orders for the MT1, their first and only model, with customer deliveries expected to begin by the end of 2025. Equally adorable, but you can get 4 K-trucks and a signed copy of The Expanse Season 2 on DVD for that kind of money.
While K-trucks account for a small percentage point of overall truck sales,
there's a fast-growing market of Americans realizing they don't need XL-sized trucks. But if you think you do, maybe ask yourself, are all those commercials about hauling a neighborhood's worth of gravel or scaling small mountains really something you want? Or is it just the marketing talking? The real question is, how will new tariffs today impact the everyday products of our future? To answer that, I'm gonna need another hot dog. If you thought big trucks were interesting, wait till you check out our video on why all business owners are driving giant SUVs. Oh, and don't forget to check out our transportation tech tracker. And if you can't get enough of the hustle, be sure to subscribe to the Hustle Daily newsletter to get your business insights and deep dives just like this. Oh, look at all these trucks. Look at this thing. That's a truck.
Well, when he explains why the trucks are getting bigger, it kind of makes sense. I guess obviously the correlation there is, what's happened in the past, that direct influence on the market. So chicken taxes and tariffs here and tariffs there, and kind of makes sense. But as I said, I've seen a couple of those 350s, F-150s here in Australia, and they are massive compared to our utes that we have here. Obviously we have a lot of Hiluxes, Toyotas here. We used to have a Holden, one of our own utes, Colorado, but we don't have any Holdens anymore. So we were obviously on the smaller side of the trucks here in Australia, but when I see them out and about, they're harder to park. They definitely stand out in traffic and everything else too. But I guess it's depend on where you are, what you want in a truck. As you said, small amount of people actually use it for carrying stuff or towing stuff or kind of using it for what it's used for, what it's intended for. And as he said at the quote there, it's less about power and more about show pony, like they used to do the forward drives and stuff, Chelsea tractors, they call it and stuff, so kind of had this big vehicle, but you don't use it for anything other than picking up, kids at school and whatever else. So, but definitely getting bigger. I don't know how much more they can go. 20 feet is massive. That's a car and a trailer, basically. So I don't know how much bigger they're going to go. Who knows? I guess time will tell. But let me know if you drive a big truck down there in the comment section. Obviously, if you're in America. But let me know. Be interesting to see what people are driving. So guys, thank you very much for joining us today. Make sure you stay safe, and I will definitely see you in the next reaction video. Oh, you're still here? You want more content? Why don't you check out my Patreon down here? You'll get plenty more content and some exclusive videos over there too. If not, why not check out this one over here?